So we are asking, what is the relationship of love to suffering? What is suffering? Why does man, throughout the ages, suffered? There is the suffering when animals, the earth is destroyed, when the earth is misused, there is suffering. When you kill animals and watch them suffering, there is that kind of suffering. There is the suffering of, if you have ever watched yourself, there is suffering when you see a man who is dishonest, who is crooked, who says one thing, does another. That's another kind of suffering. There is a suffering when someone dies on whom you have relied, whom you think you love, and so on. There is that kind of suffering. Then there is the suffering of physical pain. There is the suffering of not being able to achieve, to become something which is not fulfilling, as you call it. And there is the suffering of human being when he says, I must achieve the greatest worldly possessions, power, money, and there is that kind of suffering. And also there is the suffering which is not self-pity, a suffering when there is the perception what human beings can be and are not. You're following all this? So there is vast human suffering. Wars have brought enormous suffering to mankind. I do not know if you saw some time ago on the television the maimed soldiers returning home. Once I was taken to a hospital where the people who are wounded from the wars in a state of appalling suffering. That is our inhumanity to man. So there is this vast human suffering. When you think you love your wife or your husband and he or she turns away from you, there is suffering. So there is, you as the human being suffer and the humanity suffers. You understand? And the mother, the sister and the wife know everything man has done brings about suffering. The technological advancement has brought great benefits human, but also it brought great suffering. You have watched all this? So what is suffering? Why does man put up with it? Why do you tolerate it? Do you understand my question? Why do you allow these things to happen? She's asking the question, why do you live this way? You understand, sirs? One mustn't become emotional. One must observe these things factually, not escape from them, and then only we'll be able to do something about it. When you make an abstraction, that is, move away from what is, which is an abstraction, you understand? Move away, run away, escape from what is, that which is a movement of abstraction, then that abstraction becomes an idea, and you live according to that idea, but not according to facts. You see the difference? This is what we have done all our life, and now we are saying, please listen without abstraction, which is, man suffers. Man doesn't know the enormous beauty, the depth and the significance of love. And if you make an abstraction of it, that is, make an idea of it, make a conclusion about it, then you are not facing fact. So together we are examining without making a concept of it, which is so easy because we think having a concept, a conclusion, makes us much more capable of dealing with what is. But whereas if you are capable, if you look at what is without the idea, then you can put your teeth into it. You following on this? So why does man, woman, even the liberated woman, why do they put up with this suffering? Why worship suffering? Which the Christians do, apparently. Why man, you comprehend what is the meaning of suffering? You understand, sir? What is it that suffers? When you say, I am suffering, I suffer because I see animals ill-treated, because I suffer because my neighbor's son is killed. You follow? Who is it? Please listen to this. Give little attention to what is being said, because nobody will tell you these things. When you say, I suffer, who is it that is suffering? What is the center that says, I am in agony of jealousy, of fear, of a loss? Now what is that center? You follow I'll use the word, the essence of man You as a human being who says, I suffer, I shed tears, is that, please find out with me, though I have found out, but yet we are going together in it. Is it the whole movement of time, time being the past, the present, and the future, both psychologically as well as chronologically? Is it the movement of time? Is it the movement of thought as time which creates the center? You're following all this? No, please. Are we meeting each other, or is this becoming too difficult? So when you say I suffer, what is that I? How is that I come into being? Having come into being, then you say, I suffer. I am anxious, I am frightened, I am jealous, I am lonely. I must be this. Is that I, which is never stationary, which is always moving? I desire this and I desire that, and then I desire something. It's a constant movement. That movement is time, isn't it? That movement is thought, isn't it? Yeah. So when you say I, there is the whole philosophy or whole concept in the Asiatic world. The I is something which is beyond time, or the concept that there is a higher me is in the Asiatic world. In the Western world, the I has never been thoroughly examined. You have attributed qualities to it. The Freuds and the Jungs and all the psychologists have given a description of it, given an attributes. You follow? But never gone into this question of what is the nature and the structure of the I which says I suffer. You understand my question? Are you following this? Some of you at least. And we are saying is that I is, as you observe, one day I say I must have that. And a few days later you want something else. There's this constant movement of desire, right? Are you following this? Constant movement of pleasure, constant movement of what you must be, what you want to be, and so on, so on. We are saying this movement is time, right? This movement is the structure and the nature of thought. The poor child is crying. So the I who says I suffer is put together by thought. obviously. The thought says, I am K, I am John, I am this, I am that. And thought identifies itself with the structure, with the name and with the form, which is the I, with all the contents of consciousness, which is the I. Fear, hurt, loneliness, despair, anxiety, guilt, the pursuit of pleasure, the sense of loneliness, all that, which is the content of your consciousness, which is the essence of the I. Right? Are you following? So, when you say I suffer, what is that? Is the image that thought has built about itself, which is the form, the name and all that, is it that suffers? You're following this question? Because please, if you don't, I will go into it 10 different ways. Because one can be free totally from sorrow. And at the end, when sorrow ends, there is not only wisdom, but also there is tremendous passion. Not lust, passion, which has nothing whatsoever to do with a desire, with enthusiasm. So, without escaping, when you say I suffer, when you shed tears, when there is somebody that you love is lost, is gone, without escaping, running away from this sense of anxiety, loneliness, despair, not to run away from it, but to remain with it totally. You understand? Because sorrow is the summation of energy. You following? No, please don't shake. You don't. You know, any challenge, the deeper the challenge, the wider the challenge, the more intense the challenge is, the greater energy is demanded to meet it. Sorrow is this challenge. And it is the essence of that challenge to which you have to respond. But if you respond to it by escaping from it, by seeking comfort from it, then you are dissipating the energy that you need to meet this thing. You understand? So when there is no escape, and there is no escape, because if you do escape, sorrow is always there, like your shadow, like your face. It's always with you. And without escaping, to remain with it without any movement of thought. You understand? Wonderful. Are you doing this? We are talking together, we are looking together into this. So, or you do it now, not tomorrow. Do it now as we are talking. We are saying, don't escape from suffering, whatever that suffering is. Naturally, physical suffering, you need to alleviate it. You need to quieten it. But this, we are talking about psychological suffering, the deep inward pain of man. If you run away from it, you have not solved it. But if you remain with it, not identify yourself with it, because you are that suffering. But if you say, I must identify with it, I must accept it, I must rationalize it, you are moving away from the actuality of suffering. You're following all this. Please, sir, please, sir. So without escaping, remain with it. Which means all energy, all your energy is present to meet this extraordinary thing that has happened. And out of that comes passion. The word suffering has its root in passion. In dictionary, if you go into it, I don't want to go into all that. So, there is a solution, there is an ending to sorrow, as there is an ending to fear, completely. Then only there is a possibility to love. Because a man who suffers does not know what love is. But we think that we will learn something from suffering. That suffering is a lesson to be learned. But when you observe suffering in yourself and not escape from it, remain with it totally, completely, without any movement of thought, of alleviation, comfort, just completely hold it, then you will see some strange psychological transformation takes place. So love is passion, which is compassion. And compassion has its own intelligence. I wonder how much you understand all this. Because without that passion and that compassion, with its intelligence, we are acting in a very limited sense. All our action is limited. Where there is compassion, that action is total, complete, irrevocable.